Mark,
Hey, how are you?
good. How are you doing?
I'm doing just wonderful, thank you.
And then hit this little icon. Perfect, thank you.
Are you flying solo today, Mark?
Yes, sir. You got the 18 now.
It will be cut out. And over end, but we like that.
So it's new. Not too many people here.
You got 10 minutes. Got donuts.
Well, thank you. Good to see you. Dean's busy today, so.
Yeah, it seems like today is not going to be a busy day.
Yeah, well,
I mean, because
Yeah.
there's several people.
yeah, you called last night. Okay. I live in that so close. It's closer for me anyways. I usually watch them anyways.
What's that?
I watch them.
Oh,
Charles? Mark? I'm sitting where Dean sits.
seems usually front and center.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
I keep on watching it and Dean likes to come to me, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Dean today?
No Dean today. He's busy.
Yeah, he is. I imagine you both are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been gone for a couple days. I
Oh,
was
have
deer
you?
hunting. So it's like, okay.
You're like, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah. I live right by in Hessville, which is right next to the expressway, so.
Right.
Dean
No
lives up-
traffic, you can make it.
Yeah. Dean lives up north, so by
Oh,
Lake Michigan, so it's further for him to drive.
oh, wow, okay,
So.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I thought he lived in Hammond, I guess because
He does.
Oh,
We all do, but I live in the south part.
oh.
He
he's
lives
in-
right up by Lake Michigan, so it's probably about
Oh,
extra 8 miles.
yeah,
with all
yeah,
the
and that's
traffic.
not an easy 8 miles either.
No.
Stop signs, traffic, I mean, stop lights.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just cut over by the Erie Casino or something.
Fine,
Yeah, by Burr, so.
yeah.
that's-
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good to hear. So you drop real donuts.
We can just put it right here, Mark, up against
Yeah.
this.
that'd be
I
wonderful.
got
Right
thinking, it's like
here.
Yeah, I get that, sure.
I keep telling people to bring in donuts.
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah, the
you
bird
don't
donuts.
take any
No.
chances. You feeling okay?
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, you know, if
Sometimes
I got free donuts,
back
I'm gonna
and
bring in
forth,
something else.
but-
too.
Yeah.
This weather maybe, has that affected it?
Yeah. I go to a chiropractor too, so that's.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
But sometimes I
Yeah.
That was a problem.
stiffen off with the way. Well, that's probably because I'm getting older too, right?
Right.
Well, great seeing you.
Great seeing you too.
What's that? Well, we kind of, you just sit over there. Next to Candace.
Good morning. You got everything?
I got the whole room.
Yeah, I will even move for you.
No, you are fine.
I only got 25 pounds. Morning, Wayne.
I think that's the thing, I'm pretty good going.
Well,
Okay,
it's-
I'm bringing it then,
No, he's got his.
because I was like, it's just, it was a long day. We started about what we told before we counted.
We got a Bible almost 10, so I don't know.
It is a fun day, but it's just, it was just very like, and then there's an accident,
was approved by.
Okay.
I get to do it again Thursday.
It was supposed to be six on the sixth.
Okay,
Or the seventh.
okay, good.
So, you can go to the SIP website.
Okay, yeah,
Lincoln 24-31.
okay.
Is she still checking her personal stuff?
So, I mean, if you want to send Sean or
Yeah.
Chuck or whoever it
See,
is,
she just can't take
quick text and say, hey, look in SIP amendment 24-31, which was approved on the 6th or the 7th. I think the 6th was on the 7th.
Yeah. So it was like my age.
Should be.
Okay.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, we're fine.
Shut that.
We got it all in the back.
You know, that needs to be documented how she is. I mean, that really needs to be documented how she is on her mind.
Oh,
I mean, really, is that talking about how she's undermining her students at every turn? That absolutely has to be documented. Because now you're putting down our sub-recipients at home.
yeah, but Amy,
Yeah.
she was like,
But as long as there's somebody new, they're
that
not.
doesn't.
They're not gonna do it.
That's good.
But Amy's what she asked. She said, first time she said that.
Mitch is fun, he's back in
She
good.
said,
He's back in role.
You did
yes,
that.
I do actually. She goes, so I was reading through the answers that you said I gave them.
I love Amy, man. She is direct.
You'll see that,
She goes,
Craig's got some money in
No, we
there,
have
45
to
for the bridge,
she goes, oh, no, you'll get my answer.
so he can
How
get
about
some
that
on
whole
that.
dollar that didn't say?
Yeah, and that's what she basically.
I know, they're working on it from the other.
You know what she goes, she goes, oh, don't worry. You'll be
What's up? Good morning. How are you, sir? Good. No Dean today? No Dean today.
Go to bridge over.
You're gonna miss him, huh? He's quite busy this morning, so
So I left it.
I figure I'd come. Sure.
No, actually, I think it's really nice. It's like, what happened? Oh, I did. I talked to her chief. Right. And then she was,
We're trying to find out the
I was on the phone with some clients.
memorandum
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're spread.
I said, one suggestion. Actually,
I left it. It came across my
and she goes, I can answer these questions, and I'm not worried about it. I did not know that.
The fish. Where the fish.
And I can answer
Exactly.
The fish.
Yeah, oh, right there at the very end.
I'll say I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's yours.
How are you? Good, how are you? How you doing?
I'm well.
I just opened up.
At least it's not raining yet. And it's 60.
Walking right by it.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
there's
very windy today.
Oh, right.
Take that.
Well, it's supposed to get worse.
Windy? Yeah.
Windy.
Oh, really?
308. Okay.
My swing already flipped over at home, so.
That's the way it stands, right?
Nope.
I put mine in the shed Saturday,
I
so.
haven't done that yet. I was,
In there, so
I've got a few things.
I know
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going
I see.
to, I think it's still good.
I've got room,
So,
but I just don't want, I have stuff on my porch too that I gotta put in the garage and I just don't want to do it. Because it makes me feel like the whole season's over then.
The only thing I've got left to do is to grow, and I might still use it again. so.
I put the blue tarp over it and sit tight. That's all I do.
We live on a wet, so our upper deck, it moves.
Yeah, you get a ring on part.
Oh,
that'll
probably.
That's through the lake, and the one and I.
Well, mine is
Oh,
actually, I have
I
a
got
red
it.
one for the board. I'll have to tuck the table and everything away.
Yeah, my buddy got one too.
And it's like, oh, it's over. Preparing for the worst.
Like,
It's coming.
yeah.
Guys, I brought donuts.
95%, so I can blow my.
Where he is,
See, I have two sugar
Yeah.
maples, nothing
Okay.
earlier. And then I have one that goes.
Hey, Dwayne, how are you?
He was
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
We were gonna go out yesterday morning, and it was raining.
Yeah, I put it on the
I'd love to do that, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
So I left all the network, even though I have an acre, it wouldn't start, my battery's gone.
Actually,
He won't have
Now I
to
gotta
do
get
it.
it back on, I have to get back in.
I have
a lot, that's still
Yeah.
Yeah,
Running
you know?
across the road, right by his gate.
Yeah.
And we're leaving
I
yesterday.
have little bits.
Leaving today.
Yeah.
I went here from the coyotes out.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they were coyote. Yeah, in Jasper, they were,
Oh, yeah.
very, there was a lot.
A lot of extra figure
Yeah.
yesterday.
know you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could just try.
Sorry,
It's gonna look a lot different.
Going on
It was
with that?
the building when I went past yesterday, all the time.
How's things? Same old stuff.
Yeah, when I was going through.
Singing really sick, time off next week.
That license was
Is that where the party's this week?
the city.
Well, how's it going?
Are we about ready?
Is everybody here?
We have quorum, so
Dean doesn't show up and other people don't either, right?
Did he put the word out?
there was a poll taken around outside of Nerpsey. Are you going? Are you going? Are you
He's
going?
not going, I'm
I'm here.
I'm here too.
That's
And you're from,
I'm here from Jersey, I'm Ann.
nice to meet you, I'm Mark.
Nice to meet you, Mark. I work with that crazy man, this wonderful woman.
Thank you for the way that wasn't reversed.
I've been to so many years. Dean enjoys this, so.
I'm his wing man, so I'm just gonna.
Dean is quite the contributor.
Oh, yeah.
Pardon?
Dean is quite the contributor.
He is.
Yes.
He likes it.
And when he's speaking, it's very good.
I remember the first one we went to, Bishop there, and we were doing, our meeting about different words, like accessibility, accessible, and I'm not sure what it's about. And so some people, but that was when he started, and it's like, see? Yeah. So what I'm usually doing is watching it do my work. You know. No.
Wait for Dwayne to come back. We'll rise and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everybody. Did everybody sign in? Did everybody grab a donut? Yes, I did. I don't think everybody grabbed a donut. We'll start with the meeting minutes from September 24th. There is one change to that, and on the list of attendees, Kevin Brightsky is not mentioned. So we would like to add Kevin Brightsky to that. And as a reminder, as I mentioned, please sign in. Outside of that change, any other questions or comments on the minutes from last meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Passed. Are there any public comments? There are no public comments. The old business, the program and projects update. I've got 2025 balanced. Actually, it's balanced. So, and if there are funds at the end of the year, I've got a couple projects that I've kind of marked for those funds to go to. Those are projects that I think I shorted just to get them through, and then the balance would come in 26. I'm working on 2026. Actually 26 through 28. So I've had a couple things on my plate, namely the TIP, trying to keep that going, and it just seems like when I think everything is set with the TIP, then it's like a fire. It's smoldering and all of a sudden just flares up. Okay. So, any questions on the handout that I've given to everybody? And keep in mind, this is mainly for Max. Max, we've combined the Valparaiso funds with the Northwest UZA funds. So that way Valparaiso can afford the project later on in later years. So for instance, in 2025, you get like 2.1 million, I think 2 million annually. And in 2025, you're only using 400,000 of it. But the flip side is, come 2028, when you have a $6 million project. So just keep that in mind. I know Beth was kind of hoping to get some money with buses out of that money, but if we do, then it's going to come out of your construction funds for later years. So,
Insurance, can I ask a question?
yes,
On the sheet here?
yes.
Let's see, for the town of Griffith, their Avenue H and Broad Street roundabout, is this letting look the most up to date? I guess is my question, because it's showing here as February 2026, and I think we officially moved that.
I think we did.
Quarter meeting.
I must have missed that, so
Yeah, for the town's request, they wanted to move that to 2028.
I think we did in the tip. The letting date probably did not get changed. So we'll just move that back to 11/27? November?
I think that's what it was, yeah, if I recall correctly.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay, moving on. FY 2025 funding decrease. At the last meeting, if you remember, I recalled I said I would look into this for everybody. So essentially what happened was we went through last year, or earlier this year I think it was, we went through the whole process of the UZA and the redefinition of our UZAs, because the Census Bureau limited the amount of, or the length between the jumps between the UZAs. So therefore that created 2 new UZAs in our region. That created the Valparaiso Shorewood Forest UZA, which is a group 2, 50,000 population. Excuse me. And it also created another UZA, actually created 3 UZAs. One was Westville, but that isn't large enough to affect us and was not part of the Michigan City UZA. The other one that was created besides Valparaiso and Westville was the Winfield Lake Four Seasons UZA, which previously was in the Group 1, the Northwest Indiana UZA. So that population is somewhere around 6,000 people that we lost. So even though the region grew, but the way they define the census in the urbanized areas, our population shrunk. So essentially we lost 6,000 population because of that shrinking. So if Winfield wants to receive state funds for a project other than the 2 projects that they have with us, they are required to go through the state and get those, same as Lowell or Hebron or any other small town outside of the UZA. So that is essentially the reason for the decrease in our funding in the Group 1. We did make some of that back with the combining with the Valparaiso Shorewood Forest UZA, but we still lost, like I said, population from the Winfield Lake of Four Seasons urbanized area.
So what that relate to in dollars?
So that relates to about about $2 million we lost.
That's a chunk, that's a hit.
And it is a hit, especially when we're still seeing some inflation. It's slowing. And as our consultants and the audience will tell us, it's kind of slowing. But it's still an upward trajectory. So, so we still have to fund our construction projects. We still want to fund our construction projects. And as much as the PE and right-of-way as we can. I don't know what that's going to mean going forward. I still plan on funding things. It's just going to be some projects I'll have to move out.
What's the good news?
The sun will come out tomorrow. We'll see. We have new administrations coming in, so hopefully they will be receptive to helping us. The The next is the summary of the NOFA. If people have seen this before, this is the same presentation that I presented at the Transportation Committee. So just to kind of give everybody a summary of what we've received from the NOFA. Right now we are reviewing those projects but I'll explain that later. So the fiscal years, the NOFA was for the fiscal years 26 to 2030. Mainly we're looking at 29 and 30 because it takes, as I have said several times, it takes 4 or 5 years for a project to actually go from getting funds to getting to letting. We had about $108 million estimated available for 29 and 30. 36 of that is available for infrastructure projects, and 72 is available for transit. So we had less funds this NOFA compared to past years because of the urbanized area being redefined. Again, I talked about these a little bit. And then there's still many construction items still have long lead times getting them in. So I believe that's a lot to do with electrical, lighting, and so on and so forth. So a lot of people have asked me why are we going to have a NOFA? Well, we still have a couple transformative projects, large transformative projects, and we still need to show that we have a need for. We need to show the world that we have a need for if any extra money comes our way. And then we also still need to program projects for HSIP, CMAQ, CRP, and PROTECT funds. So there's been a big push with Federal Highway and NDOT on safety. So we do need to program some safety funds. And then we also have CMAQ funds and then CRP and, like I said, PROTECT funds. The application types, we see 3 for air quality. Just run these through. 3 for air quality, 4 for complete streets, 1 for environment, 1 for the multi-use trails, 3 for new roadways, 3 for planning, 10 for roadway modifications, and then 1 was a transit expansion project. What I'm presenting is only surface infrastructure projects. There was 1 surface infrastructure project that was submitted, but it was a transit expansion. This does not include any transit projects. Theirs were submitted on a separate NOFA, which ended last week. The applicants, what we received, Burns Harbor, Cedar Lake, Crown Point, Gary, Hammond, Lake County, LaPorte, Maryville, Nipissing, Portage, Porter County, Cherville, and Valparaiso. So there's the breakdown of who submitted projects.
I have no idea where Valparaiso is on the pie chart. The colors are just too similar.
That's why I have the table on the side. The other metrics, a lot of people complained to me about the average score, which was a 53. Past scores, I think most people were used to getting a 75 or better in order to be even in the running. So this was, a lot of people were like, why do we even submit it if I'm only gonna get a 53? So, but we'll see. If the average score is 50, then that's what the average score is. So we've tightened it up a lot. So now, as far as the total PE requested, is a little more than 10 million. So the total right-of-way requested is 7.8 million. And then the CN, total CN was 51 million, almost 52 million requested. So we can see that, we can show that there is a need, and we'll look at those projects. And then lastly, CE was 6.8 million. So some of those CEs I've adjusted because we're only going to fund 12.5%. And some of those CEs were at 15. So that is adjusted. So, and then the different programs what we received, we had 2 applications for Protect funds. We did not receive any for CRP, but I might be able to shift some CMAQ funds that way. TA, we received 1 project for transportation alternatives. HSIP projects, we received 6 projects. CMAQ funding, we received 7. And then the STBG funds, we received 10. So, next steps. Now through January 10th, staff is going to be reviewing the applications for completeness and getting with anybody if something's missing, and then scoring the projects. And then the working groups, the staff will give those to the working groups, which is the previous TOPCO committees, which would be the Surface Transportation, Paddle and Pedal Committee, Land Use, EMPC, and I'm missing transportation or transit operators. So they'll review the projects, and then they'll actually invite the sponsors to those meetings. So it's not going to be anything behind any without the sponsor being there. So keep that in mind if you get an invitation for something that seems kind of odd. So, and again, they're working groups now because they were committees, and we went to this new committee style this past summer, and the NOFA was already in place. So, again, like I said, the previous topical committees will be working groups. And then we will submit those to the Transportation Committee, which is formerly the TPC, with recommendations. And then January 10th to the 31st, NERC will model all the projects that we have in our TIP for air quality conformity. And then on February 11th, actually, I think it's more like February 5th or March 5th, one of the two, the Transportation Committee will meet and vote for recommended list of local projects. Again, I have February 11th, but with the new Transportation Committee that meets on the first Monday, and in the past, the TPC met on the second Tuesday, or excuse me, the Transportation Committee is meeting on the first Tuesday of the month, and previously the TPC met on the second Tuesday. So I got February 11th in there, but it might be the 5th. We do have some breathing room in here, so if we need to move it to March, we can move it to March. But March, then from March 10th to April 10th, we'll have our tip out for public comment. And then on May 15th, we are going to be presenting it to the NERC Commission for approval. And if it's approved, we'll send it to NDOT and Federal Highway, USDOT, which is Federal Highway, and FTA for approval. So, that's it for that. New business, local quarterly meetings, reshuffling of projects as needed. As we discussed in the local quarterly meetings, which I think most of you were in those, if there is, I've got a balance 26, 27, and 28. And I may be if I do move a project, I will call you first. So you are not talking to your mayor, you are not talking to your city council, or being blindsided by your city council or your mayor. So if I do have to move those projects, so just keep that in mind. I do want to give you the decency to know about that before it comes down the pipe. Is there any other new business or any questions about what we discussed today? Okay. Then we'll move on to item number 6. Adjournment.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Like I said, if you haven't signed in, please sign in.